So this video is about how I found out about lucid dreaming and why I wanted to do it. So when me and my partner were travelling through Australia, we would always come across the kind of a so-called hippies that were always larger than life. They always had good vibes. They were always like, yeah man, yeah. And I used to always think it'd be great to be that way. Be the same way but with my Glaswegianness. So like, aye man, aye man, know what you mean? But I used to think that, well, which one thing they've all got in common? And I thought, well, meditation, a lot of them, or most of them meditate. So I used to think that if I was to sit down and start getting into meditation on a regular basis, it was going to take me from being the way that I am, which is usually quite like, aye, cool man, aye, sound. Like kind of a chilled out, laid back. I still worry about things. But I thought it was going to take me from being like that to all of a sudden this larger than life, full of energy type of person. It's completely the opposite for, again, what I am. What a weird way to get into meditation. So, after Australia, I looked, when I was back home, staying with my uncle, I was looking up videos on YouTube to how to meditate. And within that I would always see lucid dreaming videos appear on the related search, or the related kind of the suggestion type bit. And I'd heard of lucid dreaming before. My old team leader in the call centre job I was in before Australia, he was briefly talking about it and talking about the reality checks and stuff like that. I just thought it was some weird way that required a lot of effort in order to have vivid dreams, which in my opinion wasn't worth the hassle. Or I thought it was just a new age type thing, or something weird that it's only weird people that are into this, not realising that it is a scientifically proven thing. So again, I looked up how to meditate. I was lying there meditating. I kept returning my awareness back to the breath until the moments of no thinking overpowered the moments of thinking. So I experienced this feeling where I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't zoned out, I wasn't thinking, I was just the awareness in which all these things exist within. And stereotypically, I felt myself floating off the ground and spinning in all different directions out of my room with my eyes shut still. This felt as if it took about an hour to achieve this state. I was determined not to get up, I wanted something out of it, but it was only 10 minutes. And I went in and told my uncle about it. That's when I first started sounding crazy, been that way ever since. But again, I thought, well, what is this lucid dreaming thing? Because I've always been interested in dreams in general. I know people don't like hearing about people's dreams that they have, they find it boring. I like it. I've always naturally remembered a lot of my dreams as well, and a lot of the detail within them. So I thought I'm going to give lucid dreaming a try. And I looked up, and it turns out there was the wild method, the wake initiated lucid dream method. And with some of the techniques within that, require again meditation, and I'm thinking well, I'm pretty good at meditation, I can try it that way. I didn't get into lucid dreaming for any benefits, and I'm sorry to disappoint. I'm sorry it's not a motivational or inspirational video that's like I get into it to overcome fears, to work on my subconscious mind and realise the aspects of the psyche. It was mainly just because I wanted to have a laugh. And I was also kind of scared of it because I kept looking at it as if it was like a psychedelic. When you take like your first time taking a psychedelic, you think you're going to see something terrifying, run in and scare the fucking life out of you to the point where you're not right in the head afterwards. I thought it was going to be like that, so I was quite scared of lucid dreaming to start off with. But anyway, I sat down, I performed. One morning I woke up, and a few hours later I lay back down. I was meditating on my back, blah blah, for about 45 minutes to an hour, and I let myself, my body fell asleep whilst my mind stayed awake by focusing on whatever meditation I was doing. Then your body would enter sleep paralysis, where your body paralyses yourself so that you don't act out your dreams. And I heard that you can enter from sleep paralysis, and that's another thing that I've always had in the past because of lying on my back. Before I knew what it was, but I knew it was still just something that happens at the time. I knew it was just something that happens to me, and don't lie on your back or don't drink too much, or well, that wouldn't have stopped me at the time, but I knew it was things that tend to happen with substance abuse and blah blah blah. I knew how terrifying it was, but I knew that I was going to have to enter that way. And again, you don't need sleep paralysis to lucid dream, it's just that I like doing it that way. So my first attempt, I got to sleep paralysis, I absolutely shat myself and I woke up so much to the point where I was sitting up, and I thought I'm not going to lie back down and have to repeat all that again for the next hour. So a few days later, I basically tried it again, and that's when I had success. So I was successful on my second attempt. But I'm going to have another video explaining about my first lucid dream, technically my first lucid dreams, because it was like 3 mini lucid dreams the first time it happened, and I'll explain in detail what that felt like and how it inspired me to continue lucid dreaming. So basically meditation, if it wasn't for meditation, that feeling I get, like again, I always knew what meditation was. You have a laugh about it when you're younger, like hum, and you do all that kind of stuff, but to actually experience a meditative state, Like, that made me more susceptible to, well, what's lucid dreaming then? Well, what actually is this? And I just wanted to explore, again, my psyche after that. And then things like that could lead into, like, that led into things like psychedelics and all these different mind-altering things to make you reach the higher states of awareness or consciousness that ultimately make you feel better in general when you're out and about, going about your life. But I'll make a video on that and what the experience was like, if you're interested in hearing stuff like that. But if you like this video and it's somehow motivated you to lucid dream, then subscribe, share it with somebody you think it might help, thumbs up and leave a comment down the bottom letting me know any of your experiences with lucid dreaming. And thanks very much for watching this. Have a good one, take care.